Hi, welcome back, you guys. We're gonna look at Tuesday's Fix-It sentences. Um, my first video was super long, so that's why it's already done, and I'm just gonna try to make it a little bit more concise for you. So, the first sentence says, I has some cupcakes for you. Immediately, this I should never be alone without being capitalized. And second of all, it's the start of a sentence. So I needs a capital. We need some punctuation at the end of the sentence. It could be a period, or if you want to add a little bit more emphasis or excitement, it could be an exclamation mark. So I have some cupcakes for you. And then the reader knows to make it a little bit more exciting. Okay, this kind of for is how we spell the number for. And so we want this kind of for, F-O-R. Okay, and you might have noticed the sentence doesn't sound that correct. It's not how we would say it. So let's talk about this word has. Okay, so here I've rewritten the sentence with our other corrections. Capital, correct spelling, period. I has some cupcakes for you. You might have changed I to another person, like she, he, or crew, or my mom, or Mr. Nish, or whoever. So Mr. Nish has some cupcakes for you. She has some cupcakes for you. That makes sense. So if you did that, good job. However, it's not our best option, and that's because it changes the meaning of the sentence. No longer is it me at your door saying, happy birthday, I have some cupcakes for you. It's now someone else. So our sentence meaning has changed. So we need to find a different verb that will leave our meaning the same. So let's look here. I had some cupcakes for you, but my dog ate them. Had changes this to be in the past. So if I'm standing at your door and say, happy birthday, I had some cupcakes for you. That would mean I had them at one point, but I don't have them right now in my hand, so that definitely changes the meaning. So the correct verb is have. I have some cupcakes for you. That makes sense. So let's talk about why. We use has to talk about something that's happening right now for words like he has some cupcakes for you, she has some cupcakes for you, or a specific person, like crew has some cupcakes for you. Or when we're talking about an object in a sentence, we would say it has. So like if I'm talking about my basketball, it has black stripes. So when I'm talking about an object. Okay, had, like we talked about, puts things in the past. And past can mean like 1,000 years ago or 10 seconds ago, any time before this exact moment. And we use had for any of these words. I had some cupcakes, we had, he had, she had, it had. And again, we use it had if we're talking about an object. So like I was talking about my basketball, it had black stripes, but my brother painted the ball red or something. So we don't want had in this case because it changes it to the past tense. So have is the best choice. It keeps it in the present tense, meaning it's happening right now. And we use it in sentences that use I or we. So I have some cupcakes for you. Makes sense, and it's right now. It would also make sense if the original sentence said we. We has some cupcakes for you. The subject verb agreement that makes sense is we have some cupcakes for you. Okay, and by subject verb agreement, I mean like what we're talking about and the verb, the action word, sound right together. And usually we think of verbs as like run, jump, skip, play. But in this case, the verb is have, or in other sentences, has or had. Awesome. Okay, so if we come back here, the correct sentence would be, I have some cupcakes for you. Great. Okay, next sentence. An old man walked down Lily Street. Okay, we know we need a capital, so that's all good. You can put that there. Lily Street is the name of a specific street, so it's a proper noun, so it needs capitals. Just like Logan Elementary School is the name of a specific school and needs capitals, Lily Street is a specific street and needs capitals. If I'm just talking about any random old street, it doesn't need a capital. Okay, so we need a period as well. So we have 4 mistakes, but there's still something wrong with a. And so they kind of grouped it together, like fix this whole word. So let's figure out why, or what we still need to fix. Okay, so here's my sentence with a capital, 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 period. And the only thing left to fix is, again, the subject-verb agreement, which means it just doesn't sound quite right. And in this case, I guess it's not the verb, it's the article, which was kind of like an adjective. So you might have changed your sentence to say, the old man walked down Lily Street, and that makes sense. However, it changes the meaning of a sentence. When we use the word the, we're talking about a specific thing. So in this sentence, that would mean like the old man that we all know that lives on the corner. I saw him walking down the street. So the old man walked down Lily Street. So now we have the same man that we're picturing in our head, the same old man. And so that changes it from me just saying, hey, I saw an old man walking down Lily Street. So the makes it specific, and a leaves it as just any. So in the English language, we call these words articles. So like I said, we use the when it's specific. So here's another example. Let's read the book. If I said that to you, in our heads, we would both know what book I'm talking about. Like the book that's on the table that we've been waiting to read all day, the book that we're supposed to read for homework. It's the book, like we know which one. If I just said to you, hey, let's read a book tonight before bed, that just is any old book. So here it's any old man, here it's a specific man. But now let's talk about why we have to choose between a or an, and when it's correct to use either one. So this is the correct answer for this sentence. An old man walked down Lily Street. The simplest way to tell you of when to use an or a is if the next word starts with a vowel, or if it sounds like it starts with a vowel. We use an, and it just makes it easier to say. It rolls off the tongue. An old man walked down Lily Street. Same as if I was saying apple, orange, iguana, words that start with vowels. So remember, vowels are A, E, I, O, or U. Sorry. So here's our vowels. A, E, I, O, or U. And not Y in this case. So I would use an to say like an elephant, an egg, an apple, an iguana, an orange. It just sounds easier. It's really hard to say, hey, I ate an apple at lunch. I ate an orange at lunch. Or if the word sounds like it starts like with a vowel, but it has a silent consonant there. So, hey, I'll meet you in an hour. It sounds like it's starting with that O sound and ow. And so we still use an. Every other time when a word just starts with the consonant, we just use a like normal. A boy, a car, a bike, a zoo. And just like if the word sounds like it starts with a vowel, we use an. If the word sounds like it starts with a consonant, we use a. So in the word university, unicycle, user, it sounds like the word starts with a Y. So it's still easier to say, it still rolls off the tongue better to say a university, a user, a unicycle. So that's what we do. And here we have a horse, a house. The H isn't silent, it's normal, and so it's just normal like all these words. Okay, awesome. One more thing that you might have done to make it sound better is put a word in there, an adjective to describe the old man, a friendly old man. And this sentence does make sense. It is a correct sentence. A friendly old man walked down Lily Street. But like we talked about, it changes the meaning of the sentence just a little bit. And we want to try to keep the meaning as much the same as we can. So let's look here. Old man walked down Lily Street. We have an. Let's review. That keeps it as any old man, and an rolls off the tongue better than at old man. And that next word starts with a vowel, so we have to have an. So an old man walked down Lily Street, capitals and period. Awesome. We would check our answer key, and then if you want, you would color in your boxes to track your progress. Good job.